gentlemen, boys and girls, that's an outdated logo.
Yeah,
video game talk. Video game talk on the Rich Alvarez channel.
Man,
Video Game Network is not a thing anymore.
Look at this. I'm over here.
Yeah, you're over here. In fact,
I'm Richie now.
You are the Richie.
As we saw in the bloopers, if you haven't watched those yet, give them a watch. Yeah, Richie.
Richie. Yes, I'm here coming to you live from the Rich Alvarez channel. There's a whole lot of not rich.
Yep.
Basically, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, not Rich and not Chris.
For very important reasons for you guys and those who watch the Star Wars half hour. He's watching Solo. So
yeah, he is currently viewing the release, the first available commercial release.
Yes, the
of
7
Solo.
p.m.
The day before release thing. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But that being said, much like we did with Star Wars half hour yesterday, today we're just going to talk a little bit about the biggest news we kind of found this week in video games. Then we're just going to go straight into telling you guys about what our schedule is going to look like for the next month as a little teaser, and then some info for you guys who are going to Fanime, and to remind you to watch out for that Facebook. So we're just going to kind of take it from there. I'll talk a little bit about what I saw news-wise in the video game world. As far as cons go, there's a PC convention or PC Gamers Convention coming up. That's supposed to be the big one. We'll get a bunch of releases from that. And then we have ourselves E3, which is going to happen in June. Yeah,
whenever we're coming up to a big convention like this, there's always that sort of lull of big releases. However,
it's all quiet on the Western Front.
The what is it? Sorry, I just opened Rich's page.
Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett Allen is always playing bad guys. It's been interesting because the leak. I don't really know if like so many people intended to drop so many of their AAA sort of like releases, or because I know Bethesda didn't, or it's at least implied that they didn't. They had some stuff prepared, so I wonder. But like the leak definitely threw a lot of that off.
Yes.
And all of a sudden now we've got, it's not even E3 yet. We've got news of
Rage 2.
We've got news of Black Ops 4.
Battlefront 5 dropped
Battlefield.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Yeah, Battlefield 5 all of a sudden has like a full-blown release and a trailer and all kinds of crap. So that's interesting. Yes. And I wonder where on earth, like, we get all this from. Like, was this intended to be released before E3? What purpose is E3?
Not.
Was it... I've asked this question before, like, what purpose does E3 solve or like kind of serve if we're not seeing any really unique AAA? I'm sure there will be more, but I'm wondering if like this is...
for you guys, especially those who love what Rich does and did, which was Super Mario Brothers, we are looking at getting our backstage official Nintendo VIP tickets. I just got word of that. That's some hush hush stuff. Don't know how much we'll be able to tell you from that, but we will have a lot more news coming back after E3 hits. So I still think there's going to be a lot of big ones. Probably the indie scene is really going to take off in these releases.
They're going to continue to take off.
Yes.
We haven't really seen a we haven't really seen a downtick in the kind of like the activity on the indie front.
Yeah, and the indie front, I would argue, just keeps getting better and better. We're seeing a lot of these Kickstarter campaigns that are just taking off. I think it's going to be a really good year for the indie. I'm hesitant for the year of AAA titles, other than EA has clearly taken a step back with Battlefield 5. They have made it absolutely transparent that you cannot buy guns and upgrades. The most you can purchase with real money is going to be skins.
Cosmetics. Yes. Which obviously they've worked in as an incredibly central point of this game because the trailer is full of it. Yes. And I want to ask you, for starters, if you haven't had a chance to watch the Battlefield 5 trailer, we cannot play it during the episode. It will get flagged.
Yes.
So we can't work with that. You know, we'll get banned and it won't, you know, this video won't go up. But go watch it.
Yes.
If you haven't. In fact, I would very much recommend pausing the video right now because we're about to talk about the trailer. So pause.
Watch it. It's really short.
Very short. Go watch.
And come back.
What were your impressions?
Yes. My impressions were a mix, and I texted you this as soon as it dropped. My impressions were Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield 1942.
Right.
In this weird blend, and my logic on that was if you just watch the trailer, if you haven't, pause. and come back and let us know your thoughts. The reason I thought that was a lot of the way the guys died in the trailer was extremely Bad Company-esque. Like, dude has a tank fall on him. Like, planes are flying out of the sky. All the colors are really bright. Like, a lot of the stuff they're doing is really fast-paced and comical, which was a lot of the
super
Bad
action
Company.
movie.
Yeah.
Which flies in the face so hard of, like, what... like, for starters, we just are coming off a Battlefield, or a World War II release from Call of Duty.
Yes.
Battlefield obviously found its origins in World War II games.
Right.
And I don't want to call Battlefield 1942 a game with historic accuracy, because ultimately it was still a video game and whatnot.
It can get only so accurate.
And even then, it wasn't trying to be accurate.
Yeah.
It was trying to be, like, you know, an immersive representation, but very much maps and, you know, sort of sightings that were not necessarily designed with historic accuracy, but, you know, being fun. But you can't deny that a certain element of kind of how the guns worked, how fatalistic things were, your needing to cling to cover, a lot of the ways that dogfighting played out was at least rooted in reality in some respect.
Yeah,
My first impression with this Battlefield 5 trailer was like, we appear to have thrown that out the window.
Yeah, we're back to Bad Company, which if you played, had an extremely destructible environment, hilarious characters, but it was
didn't at any point attempt to be a representation of the way the military works at all, even for a second.
Yes.
It was like Super Troopers was never intended to be a representation of how cops work.
Yeah, and I think that's
Super Troopers might be a dated reference for y'all. I'm sorry, but like
I think
the second one just came out.
I think we're getting that again because Battlefield 1 released, and I played quite a bit of that, and it just felt so boring. It was.
A lot of people liked 1 though.
I liked
a lot of people thought like this is refreshing. In fact, we didn't expect a lot from a World War I era shooter, and all of a sudden like, oh shit, there's like some clout here.
It was as historical as you could have gotten with a game in World War I.
Well, it is historic for a battlefield in World War I. You know,
yes, I mean, there was still. I mean, if you wanted to do real historic World War I, everybody would sit in a trench for 3 days, and you'd pop up once to run and die. Yeah. But that's not
a great game. Yeah, they turned it into kind of an action twist with like the cavalry and all that sort of stuff. And they were able to make some of the stuff that was probably traditionally a bit distant from the battlefield, like the Zeppelins and the dogfighting and all that sort of stuff. They were able to kind of put it in. My first impression with the trailer was kind of what did I just watch?
Yeah, you thought it was like fever dreamish.
I was like, this is weird, dude. I mean, like you've got like right out the gate, you know, you're like you've got dudes. So initially, my first thought was like, okay, is this going to be like World War II Special Forces? Are these like Special Forces? Because like it looks it's not a battlefield at all. It's very much like a squadron of people just running through and shooting people. I'm like, well, that's a little odd.
It looks like it's going to be taking the vantage point of resistance fighters.
Yeah.
There's almost no way it's not. They all had the cool face paint. It was kind of like a ragtag group of people.
Yeah.
Like Bad Company.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of the in-between, and everybody's chirping at each other.
You didn't typically have women on the front lines and
not on the front lines. You had a lot of them in support roles. You had more, well, front lines as far as nurses and
but like active combat
and stuff like that. But they weren't generally. There's always an exception to the rule, but generally they weren't sent to the front lines to fight like they were doing in the trailer.
Right.
But that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. I mean, you know, there's going to be those historic people that are like, that wasn't how it worked. But
I've seen it already.
I know. I mean, you already see it and whatnot. But if it's from the perspective of like a resistance or whatnot, then I like that description because ultimately it means that like, you know, the fact that people are wearing like a German military vest with like a take no shit, you know, kind of like snake thing on their back. And, you know, the girl had like a prosthetic arm and whatnot that was like somehow magically able to grip weapons. I don't know, but I'm not gonna be that guy.
Doesn't matter. I think it sounds fun.
It looks cool, and I'm interested to see where they go with it. If it ultimately does play out to be a bit more Bad Company-ish, where it's just like, this is just we're really leaning into like just this is an action movie sans video game set in an interpretive historical fiction environment of World War II. I'm good with that.
Yep.
I get iffy with it when we start to get into a game that like if they tried to make this another Battlefield 1942 but just with customizable skins, I feel like we would lose a lot of immersion, and I would just be like, whoa, like the Battle of the Bulge did not feature like
pink bunny ears and
pink bunny ears in the sidecar. Oh, it's Rico. He says hello. Pink bunny ears in the sidecar with Rico. What do you think about the Battlefield trailer?
Hey, he thinks it's all right.
What do you think? Is it okay? Do you want to see a historical context to the game?
Oh, he doesn't want that. Do you want to watch Bad Company?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that worked pretty good.
I'm a fan of that.
Okay, good. So Rico has spoken, and that's the only opinion that matters. Good night, folks. We'll see you next week. You want to let him out?
Yeah. Okay. So, but that being said, Garrett,
live show.
Did you see any
live show?
Did you see any prior or other things that came out this week you want to talk about, or do you just want to dive into kind of giving our fans another?
Well, we need to answer questions. We need to answer questions from last week. We do have that. No, we do that. We'll do that last because I want to get all the other topics out of the week because then the questions are ultimately going to center around Battle Royale.
Oh, okay, good point.
And I don't know that we got your hot take on whether what you feel about the new Black Ops 4.
Oh, don't.
Because this is weird. I feel like our roles are reversed a little bit on these games. You are optimistic about Battlefield 5, whereas I'm feeling a little bit like, okay, I've seen this, I don't want to see this again. And whereas I was actually a little encouraged by Black Ops 4, and you are bummed by Black Ops 4.
No. I can't. I have not played a Call of Duty since Black Ops, and I played 10 minutes. I played 10 minutes of it.
I mean, like, you played PUBG.
Yes.
You got some okay hours in PUBG. You had an okay time. Are you not like fascinated at the idea of like another an actual like AAA title or AAA publisher with Activision money really like taking on?
The only thing that scares me is it's Black Ops. It's Call of Duty's doing this.
I know, but generally speaking, if you have to hate on one of them, you're going to hate on the Modern Warfare ones.
No map at any point in Call of Duty's history have they ever created a world large enough to do an actual battle royale system. That's where I'm terrified. They have no experience.
Just the idea that this is this is uncharted territory.
Yeah, they have no experience. They've never created a map, I would argue, large enough to effectively run a battle royale game in, and that's terrifying because there's an entirely different mechanic.
It's a different game.
Yes,
it's totally different.
Yes,
it's from the ground up. And I've really enjoyed kind of the close quarters run and gun combat of Call of Duty. It's not realistic in any sense. The ballistics are very free and loose as far as physics are concerned, but ultimately speaking, like, I had fun. I clocked some serious hours in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3.
I don't think there was a third. I think it's just
Modern Warfare. There was for sure a third. I have about 200 hours in it.
I didn't play the third.
No.
So, but I played the first and second, and I clocked bajillion hours. That was my game for a very long time when it came out.
And that was fun. That was a good experience.
I think that's the reason I'm not optimistic.
Because this is such a big step out of what they're really established with. Like a run and gun, quick scope, showmanship kind of
try to do a battle royale.
Tiger Stripes in a game where you lead, you walk for 45 minutes leading up to that moment where some dude jumps off a building 360-degree no-scopes you and you get into this melee fight. Yep. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wager that you didn't play a lot of the more fatalistic game modes. On Battle, or on Call of Duty.
I did.
You did. So you would play like the permadeath, kind of style off modes. Okay, because those played very differently.
Yeah, but
a lot more camping, a lot more slow advancing. I mean, those are the ones, and like seeing how people have kind of adapted to that is what gives me hope for kind of the idea that there's.
I just don't know how you're going to get the Call of Duty fanboy base on board.
I mean, you might. I'm going to say this as polite as possible. I don't care what they think. This is for me. Kind of thing.
Fair.
Like, will I enjoy it?
Yeah.
In fact, I don't want some of them around for for Black Ops 4. I want my crew. I want my crew there, and I want us to dominate. Okay. So that's all good. I'm encouraged because I had some fun with the Battle Royale style.
Yeah.
I was an alpha tester for Fortnite. We were very much.
Fortnite was fun.
Yeah, Fortnite was cool.
Yeah.
It very last minute and suddenly overnight became a Battle Royale game.
Yeah.
It was not that beforehand.
Nope.
But it's obviously seen tremendous success as a Battle Royale game. PUBG was a cultural phenomenon, and I enjoyed those. But ultimately, what didn't I like about them? Especially PUBG, it was the obviously completely caught off guard developers.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't fault them for that, but it did affect ultimately my experience there.
Yeah.
So many of the technical issues, the idea that like they were all of a sudden broadsided by a user base that spanned, 20 plus countries and, several hundreds of thousands of people, even simultaneously. That was way above model for them, and they're in what I'm sure was like a very well christened structure of like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and it's going to be interesting. All of a sudden fell back into like, how do we prevent people from hacking? How do we design servers that can do this? Our netcode's a mess and wasn't ready for this. And all of a sudden development got really, really thrown off. That did ultimately kill the game for me in the idea that like, I feel like I can't go on to PUBG now without encountering either one, ultra regimented, never set down PUBG 2,000 plus hour players that own the scene, the Dr. Disrespects of the world, or two, just avid hackers.
Yeah, no, it's been bad, and I get why you're excited for the Call of Duty.
I just like the idea that like Activision fixes those problems. Not historically perfectly, but better than a lot of other online shooters.
I could see it, but I'm still not hopeful.
Right.
I'm just not hopeful.
That's fine.
That's where it is.
You know what I would have been more excited for?
What?
Like a Counter-Strike Battle Royale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if Valve came out and were like, this is like Counter-Strike, like
literally Counter-Strike Battle Royale.
Yeah. Then they released that. Like, hey, by the way, the next big innovation for the Source engine and the next evolution of Counter-Strike is going to be, even if it's like a Battle Royale overhaul to Global Offensive.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's its own thing. I feel like that's a development team that understands, at least as far as just the data metrics are concerned, a little bit more of like what would make a Battle Royale game interesting and fatalistic. They've already got there with Gun Game. There's a lot more fascinating things there. Traditionally no vehicle involvement in Counter-Strike. That would be my only apprehension, is like, how do you get that? But great map design. I would feel faithful in that group. If I had to pick a second, however, it would probably be the Black Ops team.
But Black Ops is not going to have vehicles. There's no way.
Probably not.
Call of Duty's never had a vehicle.
True. I mean, they do in the campaigns.
Yeah, you get to ride in it. You get to ride in it.
But those are very clearly like an on-rails experience, not like a balanced multiplayer experience. That's like, okay, turn the mouse, hit the button to advance the story, which is fine. I like it, but wouldn't necessarily fit for
Press F to pay respects. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, right. Was that in COD? Was that a COD thing? Okay, it sounds like a COD thing.
It was a very.
I see the meme, but I'm like, I don't know.
It's from COD. It was terrible. But with that being said, I don't want to dive too much into the video game stuff because we do need to get to the important bits, which is your questions and a little bit of update for all of you.
Yeah, let's do the update first.
Okay, so the update for you guys, we are all going to Fanime and we will all be there.
Yeah. Yes. So no releases from this channel Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
It's going to be a minute.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because we are going to Fanime. That being said, Fanime is obviously a big, explosive moment for the channel, because that's like when, the more in-person aspects of the business expand. That's when Jax, really plays her roles, like, kind of like the RMA booth runner and the front runner, kind of the in-person, interactions there.
Well, with that,
then we get the video.
We will have a little bit of releases because we will be recording the whole event, more or less. And,
you guys know what to expect from convention videos.
If you're not on the Facebook and you're watching this, subscribe to the Facebook, give us a like, because we are going to be doing some live streaming from there.
Right.
From both there and E3. There's going to be quite a bit coming on the Facebook for that.
For sure. So, that's really the most important bit, is the idea of like, hey, if you want to check, obviously we will have the YouTube video that is like the convention rehash after the fact. Excuse me. But, a lot of live stuff from the Facebook. A whole lot of kind of if you wanted to see, the Wasteland stuff that me and Richie and Tarek are involved with, that's like a big part. And, that's something you guys don't typically see. We're putting that on the Facebook Live, reactions to things, the cosplay coverage, any of the fans that we are able to meet at Fanime.
It's the perfect segue into the next little bit of info that I got from Richie yesterday. The time may give or take an hour. Check the Facebook if you are there or want to come and meet us.
You should be us on social media.
Yeah. There is going to be a Facebook release on the exact time and location, but it will be Saturday, slightly after noon. We're looking at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
For a fan meetup. We will send that out to everybody on Facebook. We will probably do it via a live announcement, and then we will see you guys there.
For sure. I know demographically most of you are American Midwest to East Coast, and that's upwards of 70% of you. But I know there will be fans at Fanime.
And I gotta shout out, because just in case you guys don't know yet, I'm more or less running the Facebook. I just responded to like 7 or 8 messages today that you guys fired in. But was talking to Richie. We have
Discord, YouTube, Facebook.
So we actually have quite a bit of fans in Norway.
Correct.
the Netherlands, and Germany. So shout out to all you guys. I didn't know you existed until I managed to look.
Australia too.
Yeah,
Australia's pretty active on the Discord.
I know we got England, Ireland. So we know you're not local, and if you're not, just watch Facebook for some of the live stream stuff.
We love you.
Yes.
Hello. Sorry we can't see you. Sorry for the thousands of miles that that interweave between us. We are thinking of you.
Absolutely. But that being said, that's as far as I have as updates. So.
Yeah, for sure. Check the Facebook. We're going to be very active. We are not doing anything YouTube this weekend. We will not have reliable access to the kind of bandwidth that would make that feasible, nor the time. But there's going to be a social media explosion this weekend and the E3 weekend. Important that you get on the Facebook. Look us up. Yep. There will be links in the description. You know where to find it.
It'll be there.
It'll be there.
Questions.
All right. So last week, and I just have a few of these, we posed the question of what, as we see this explosion into, kind of the battle royale scene, we're seeing that become more popular, even oversaturated, much as we saw the zombies and the survival thing, kind of with the DayZ thing, which I think very much transitioned into the battle royale. We're seeing battle royale show up in places that we wouldn't expect it. So
I have a timeline on that real quick. Some news for you guys in case you didn't know. The guy who created PUBG was the original founder of a separate server base where he created the battle royale format for H1Z1.
Yeah.
And then spun off because he owned the rights to it. So there you go.
Yeah, and that was good. And obviously these things are all very interconnected. But we're starting to see battle royales pop up in a lot of places that we wouldn't expect them, and maybe some places they don't belong. Yep. So we asked you guys to kind of see like what
Pokemon Go battle royale.
Yeah, what series and stuff needs a battle royale? What are your best and worst suggestions? So I'm just gonna I haven't checked these ahead of time. I'm just kind of spitballing through them here. First of all, I did reply to Marty Man's comment on this one, but Metal Gear Solid franchise should have a Battle Royale mode. Turns out, it shouldn't, because that game was awful. To anybody who's not aware, Metal Gear Survive was in fact a thing, and it was the first kind of post-Hideo Kojima game that, that they put out under the rights, and it was garbage. So you can check it out. If you're a giant Metal Gear fan and the immersion is real important to you, you can go see it. But ultimately, across the board, even objectively, outside of our own experience, the game was pretty poor. Okay. I do not recommend it. But Metal Gear franchise, unfortunately on paper, looked like it would have been a great candidate.
Yeah, it could have been.
So credit to you. I'm assuming you didn't know about Metal Gear Survive, so credit to you for coming up with an idea that I would have thought was good too.
Until
I saw it in execution, and it was actually
terrible.
It was a garbage fire. So that's all good. Angel pointing out maybe Castle Crashers and the idea of like more 2D or what is it, like the roguelike sort of situation. Maybe Metroidvania kind of style platformers have an element to them. I would need to see that. I would have to see it executed. But the cool thing that I like about that is that's super accessible for an indie game studio that had a really good idea how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to see like a 6-person team that I've never heard of take that on and make it great. That's all good. Kyle Gard throwing out Skylanders as a battle royale. I really haven't touched on Skylanders.
Philip Breyer also tossed out Final Fantasy.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes. Final Fantasy would be wildly incoherent.
Oh my god.
But the idea of like a turn-based battle royale would be kind of cool. Yeah. At which point I would just say, how is that not Civilization at that point?
The world doesn't close on Civilization, but it does via
yeah,
borders.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's a good point.
Yeah, right. In a weird way, we get very much into a turn-based strategy game at that point. But I'm down.
Still a good idea.
I'm down.
Yeah, they can try it.
So maybe we just need a turn-based Final Fantasy Civilization builder. Yeah. Okay, now we're thinking. Now we're thinking. Donkey Kong Battle Royale. What? Okay, love it. Let's do it. No.
Right? That would be sick.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there was a hockey song had Star Wars.
Okay, yeah. You know what? Yeah, a few people have pointed out, but Hockey Song most recently have pointed out that like a Star Wars battle royale would be good. I think Marty Man in a previous video said that like a PUBG adaptation of Star Wars would be good, and I'm down. I like the idea. I would
show me.
That's
what I'd ask the developers.
I'm waiting.
Show me.
I'm waiting for like a well-executed Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Because Battlefront 2 was touching on an actual really cool formula of like the full-scale two-front vehicles included battle, and I don't know that we've ever gotten back to the grandeur of scale that was. I would be curious as to like maybe like a Mandalorian theme, like the Mandalorian tribes on Mandalore. That would be really cool. Star Wars has some great options there, especially considering, you know, there's some late game items that would be insane. So that's all good. Wasn't a ton of submissions on that, but I liked what we got. And I don't have a question for you this week. Do you have a question for him that you can come off of? Right? I didn't know I was going to be doing this until right now. So
surprise! No. So the question this week is going to be, I want to hear your guess for the big surprise release. And if you don't know about
we should ask an E3 question
about E3. I want your predictions on a big surprise release for E3 that's coming up in June. What do you think's going to rock the world? Rumors or even a little bit of reality? What are you excited for, or what do you think is going to be the big surprise?
Not necessarily like the biggest budget thing, but like what's the thing at E3 that people are going to be like, what? We didn't even do this thing. And even if it doesn't happen, I want your hypotheticals. Like all of a sudden, like Valve. No, my biggest one is the one that I always point out. Like that would just be like the E3 like cancel all the shows. Not even Half-Life 3, but the idea that Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, and Half-Life 3 are actually the same game, and it's just called 3. Yeah, like it's like that, and it's like Valve counted the 3. It was the same universe all the time. We've already established that Portal and Half-Life probably take place in the same universe. So like maybe Left 4 Dead is also happening somewhere. I don't know, or there's something I don't know. But just and Team Fortress. Team Fortress 2 becomes Team Fortress. It's just like, and Valve releases 3, and it's like, it's this big thing. I want predictions of that level of ridiculousness.
I like it.
And that level of magnitude. So let me know where your creative brains go and see what is going to drop trow at E3.
Sounds good to me. All right, guys. We will see you guys next week.
Yeah, we're going to go get from Fanime. Sorry, it was a short video. We love you. Bye!